Good morning, students. So today we will have a recapitulation of chapter 1, that is, what is the title of the chapter? Globe, right? A model of Earth. Yes, so let us first of all let us have a quick recap of the important points which we have discussed earlier in the previous class. So starting from point number 1, that Earth is one of the 8 planets that we have in our solar system. Next, it is very unique as compared to the other planets, and the reason why it's unique because of the life being present on it. And the reason why life is possible on this Earth is that because of the presence of air and water. Now, it was believed that the Earth was flat. It was believed, that means in the olden days. But however, philosophers, explorers, they came up with the opinion that the Earth was not flat. In fact, it was round. But there was one particular person, that was Sir Isaac Newton, who says that Earth is not completely a perfect sphere. You can say it's roughly a sphere, okay, not perfectly a sphere, as because it was somewhat flattened in the poles. So there is a globe which is a kind of a spherical representation of the Earth. It helps us, in understanding. It gives us a picture of the model of the Earth, and it also helps us to understand, to visualize the Earth and its surface. Major portion of the Earth is underwater, and there are these large water bodies. These are called oceans. There are basically 5 major oceans that you have. That's Pacific, Atlantic, Indian Oceans, Southern Ocean, and Arctic Ocean. Next, we have also discussed about the continent, the 7 continents that we have. That is the land masses, right? The large land masses are called continent. Next, we have talked about equator. Equator is basically, the imaginary circle that we have, that is which falls in a 0 degree. You can say that it divides the Earth into 2, okay, just at the center of the Earth running. So the upper portion, as I told you, divides the Earth into 2. The upper portion of the Earth, that's northern hemisphere, the area which is below the equator, southern hemisphere. Hemisphere means hemi, which means half. We have also talked about parallels of latitude. So in total there are 180 degree latitude, that is 90 degree north, right, 90 degree south on each side. And out of all these parallels, as I told you about equator is one of the latitude, and it is the longest parallels of latitude. And so since it is the longest, so it is also called great circle. Next, we have talked about some important parallels of latitude, such as Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, Arctic Circle, Antarctic Circle. Next comes longitude. Longitudes are basically those, if you look at a globe, you will find some semicircles joining the North Pole and the South Pole. Okay. Now total there are 360 degree in number, longitude, and these are also called meridians. It was in 1884 when all the countries of the world, they decided that the meridian which is passing through Greenwich near London, which is in United Kingdom, that will be taken as the starting line, and hence it was marked as a 0 degree, and therefore it is also called prime meridian. Next, we saw about locating places in a globe. If you have to locate places, this the most important method by which you can locate place in a globe is with the help of latitude and longitude, where the place where they intersect, the point where these two intersects each other, that will tell us the location of that particular place. Next, grid. This latitude and longitude, when they cross each other, and they form a kind of a network, and that is called, this network is called grid. The different time zones that we have, legally, there are somewhere around 24 different time zones on Earth, and the time at 0 degree longitude, that is prime meridian, right? Or Greenwich Mean Time, you can say that. Now, we know that to complete one rotation, the Earth takes somewhere around 24 hours, and the direction in which it rotates is from west to east. And it is during this rotation that each of these meridians, that we have 360 degree, right? Total meridian, yeah, 360 degree meridians. Each of these meridian, they pass under the direct rays of the sun, and that is how we have our different time zones. Now, when we talk especially about the Indian Standard Time, that is IST, now the Indian Standard Time, it is the time which is observed throughout in India and also in Sri Lanka. Now, if you in comparison, or if you compare this IST with this GMT, Greenwich Meridian Time, then there's an offset of 5.5 hour plus 5.5 hour. Now, the standard time in India, it is calculated on the basis of 82.5 degree east longitude, and this passes from a place called Mirzapur, which is near Allahabad in Uttar Pradesh. So these are the main topics, the one which I have told you now. If you have marked it already earlier, if not now, that's enough for you. You don't have to study each and everything. And yes, especially page number 10 at the end of the chapter, those 1 2 3 4 5 6, those 6 points, you can say summing up, or it is in your book, it is written as keep in mind the important key points. Okay, let us have a quick discussion about this exercise, as we have already done earlier, but once again. How are we sure about the shape of the Earth? How? It is because of those philosophers, those explorers such as Pythagoras, Aristotle, Magellan, Copernicus. It is they who told that the Earth was not, and especially Sir Isaac Newton, who suggested that the Earth was not completely a sphere, but it was somewhat flattened in the poles. What is prime meridian? Just now I told you that is GMT, right? 0 degree passing through Greenwich, London. The starting line, you can see prime meridian. And if you want the answer already framed for you, it's in, keep in mind the last point, the meridian passing through Greenwich near London is marked as starting line. This is called prime meridian. What is grid and how is it helpful? Page number 9, under a topic locating a place, the last paragraph, the latitudes and longitude cross each other and form a network. This network is called a grid, right? Okay. And how is it helpful? Even that you have to write, right? The grid helps us in locating different places. What is GMT, Greenwich Meridian Time? GMT is same as prime meridian. You can frame the answer in this way. Just the same line which you wrote the same answer for prime meridian. The only thing is that you have to, instead of prime meridian, you will write Greenwich Meridian. The meridian which is passing through Greenwich near London in the United Kingdom and considered as a starting line marked at 0 degree is called Greenwich Meridian Time. What is IST, Indian Standard Time? Answer is already structured for you. Page number 10 under topic IST. Indian Standard Time is the time observed throughout India and Sri Lanka with a time offset of GMT plus 5:30. Next, fill in the blanks. Parallels run from east to west, right? Yes, east to west. Meridians run from north to south. There are 180 degree longitude meridian east of prime meridian. The Tropic of Cancer is where? Northern hemisphere. The prime meridian passes through where? Greenwich near London in UK. The Earth rotates on its axis. The meridian and latitude cross each other to form a network. Choose the correct option. For question number 1, it's Sir Isaac Newton. The Earth is somewhat flat at the both ends. Whose idea was that? Land masses on Earth are known as continent. Parallel lines to the Great Circle are called latitude. For locating a place on a globe, we need to know its latitude and longitude. The Earth is divided into two hemispheres, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, by an imaginary line called equator. True or false? The equator is a real line that divides the Earth into two equal halves. The equator is a real line. False, sorry. Even I was confused. Because yes, the equator divides into two equal halves, but not a real line. It's an imaginary line. So you have to be very much careful. Latitudes are also called meridian. False. The Tropic of Cancer is in the northern hemisphere. True. The equator passes through India. Where is our India map? Kolkata, Bangladesh. The equator passes through India? I don't think so. Hold on. Number 5. Arctic Circle is at 66.5 degree longitude. False. Where is the Arctic Circle? 66.5 degree north latitude. Alright. Match the column. Longest parallel equator. Prime meridian Greenwich. Intersection of longitude and latitude Greek. Tropic of Cancer 23.5 degree north. Name the following. The largest continent Asia. Smallest Australia. Largest ocean Pacific. Smallest Arctic. Longest parallel equator 0 degree meridian, prime meridian. How many latitudes are there on a globe? 90 degree this side, 90 that side, north and south. In total 180 degree. Okay, how many latitudes? In total 180 degree latitudes. Name the 7 continents: Asia, Africa, Europe, North America, South America, Australia, Antarctica. What is the shape of the Earth? Not completely sphere, because it's flattened at the poles as defined by Sir Isaac Newton. So you can write roughly a sphere. That you can write. Yeah? Not perfectly sphere, roughly a sphere. So that's all. Everything has been discussed twice with the belief that you will study well and appear examinations properly. So alright children, see you in the next class. God bless you all.